grave of Cyrus Fleming, who was Ray's grandmother, Sarah McLean Butler's great-grandfather. Let's see, her mother was Jane Cochran, her mother was Sarah Fleming, and Cyrus was Sarah's father. And his tombstone says, he was an active and zealous Christian, and for many years a ruling elder in the Presbyterian Church. He being dead yet speaketh. And this thought is credited to Titty Charlotte, whoever that is. And he was born December 13th, 1791, and died August 29th. Cyrus Fleming, we find Lucinda, wife of Cyrus Fleming, it says on the tombstone, born, I cannot read the date, something 9th, maybe December, 1801, died October, I think 1st, 1873, and there's no maiden name for Lucinda, but I'm hoping I can find their marriage license in either Salisbury or Concord, and then I'll know who she was. All right, Cyrus Fleming and wife Lucinda are buried in the cemetery adjacent to a red brick church with a steeple, which is located as follows. You leave Kannapolis on the Bethpage Road. When it becomes the Mooresville Road, you take the Mooresville turn. At the intersection of the Mooresville Road and the Enochville Road, this brick church is located, and the cemetery is next to it. Okay, well, let's move on to Enochville and get back on. Graves of James G. Anderson. The G is for Gill, Ray's grandfather, born at Woodside near Aberdeen, Scotland, March 20th, 1832, died February 28th, 1907. He was a soldier in the Union Army during the war between the states. His wife, it says, Millie Shue, born near Mount Pleasant, North Carolina, March 15th, 1855, died May 26, 1838, and they've got her name spelled wrong on the tombstone. Her name was Millicent Shue, S-H-O-E, and her father, John Henry Shue, Jr., whose grave I hope to find tomorrow, was killed in the Confederate Army in the crater explosion in Virginia. And this is at St. Paul's Lutheran Church at Enochville, and it's on the corner of what, 1st Street and Enochville Road, or where is it? Anyway, St. Paul's Church in Enochville. And the tombstone's new because Ray's father had the old one replaced. Okay, this is a grave of Ray's uncle Victor H. Anderson. I don't know what the H stands for. He was a sergeant in the 106th Ordnance Depot Company in World War I. Born October 28, 1891. Died December 31st, 1956. St. Paul's Lutheran Church in Enochville, on the corner of 1st in Enochville and the Enochville Road. Ray's grandfather, James Gill Anderson, and his wife, Millicent Shue Anderson, are buried here. I suspect this church was a compromise because the Andersons grew up Presbyterians, I'm sure, in Aberdeen, Scotland, and Millicent's family were German Reformed, the church her parents were in, so they probably took the Lutheran church as a compromise. And the left side of the Confederate Army marker, we have Dorcas George Allison Butler. On the tombstone they have a Dorcas A. Butler, born, it looks like, December 20th, 1830, and died, it looks like, April 28th, 1900 maybe, I can't read that from here. And she was the mother of the Mr. Butler who later became sheriff of the county around here. She's the one whose husband vanished while working on Center Church. She was the granddaughter of Theophilus and Keziah Allison, but I haven't yet found her parents. Okay, to the right of the Confederate cross, we have John W. Butler. I don't know what the Butler stood for. Born July 17th, 1851. Died November 5th, 1894, it looks like. He was Ray's grandfather. Then next to him we have Sarah M., stands for McLean, well, it says McLean. Sarah McLean, wife of J.W. Butler. born October 7th, 1866, died November 11th, 1946. And that's the immediate family there. There are other cousins, uncles, and what have you around. And this is at Prospect Church on the road between China Grove and Mooresville, North Carolina. Now let's find the claims. Spelled wrong. His name was William Burton, M-C capital L-E-A-N, really, and he is Ray's great-grandfather, born October 29th, 1820, died May 21st, 1899, and he and these other persons we'll describe are buried in Prospect Church Cemetery on the road between China Grove and Mooresville. Next to him we appear to have his second wife, Maliba or Melissa or somebody. He was Ray's grandmother's father, incidentally. Then over here we have Jane Isabella, wife of W.B. McLean, who died July 29th, I think, 1861, aged 39 years, 5 months and 5 days. And she was Jane Cochran, and she, I believe, was the granddaughter of that Cyrus Fleming, whose tombstone we have. We have to check that out again. And she was the mother of Sarah McLean Butler, Ray's grandmother. Okay, we have a tombstone here of Sarah B., wife of William McLean. She was born in 1792. I think probably she was the mother of this William B. McLean, whose name is spelled wrong, because Sarah Graham, I'm pretty sure, married William McLean, and those two were the parents of William Burton McLean, and the dates would be right. But we don't see her husband's tombstone anywhere, and what became of him is beyond me, and I'm not sure she's the right person, but the dates indicate she probably is. I'm going to go down the row and see who else I see. This is also on Prospect Cemetery. See, I got a lot of work to do in courthouse.
Just can't understand because he's so ugly.
Elizabeth, you can get in the car with me and we'll see if we can follow this woman
Okay.
today. Yeah. Okay. You sit up front here, you sit back with me.
Okay. Let me get that Alice for you. And I'll see you later. John?
I'm going to this church office too, over here, if it's open. She's only photographed in town.
not looking for it, where is it?
Center Church, C-E-N-T-R-E, Presbyterian Church, near Mooresville, North Carolina. It was organized in 1765. Ephraim McLean was one of the original members, and I'm told also helped build the original church building, which may or may not be the one we see in the center. Later, John Butler, who was Ray's great-grandfather, who married Dorcas George, was working on this church and walked off down the creek one day and has not been seen since. We don't know what happened to him. Of Thomas and Naomi Brandon Gillespie, husband and wife, who died on the same day and were buried in the same casket. Unfortunately, it's very hard to read the dates and so forth on the tombstone, but I think I have them in my DAR papers, because Thomas was a Revolutionary War veteran, though he must have been in his 60s at the time of the Revolution, and his son Isaac Gillespie is also one of my DAR ancestors. Isaac came on to Tennessee and lived there and died. He's buried near Franklin. And this is at Thyatira Church between Mooresville and Salisbury, North Carolina. Okay, let's be walking and I'll tell you who Thomas and Naomi are. And, I want to add something. A lot of Brandons are in these old graves who are just bound to be Naomi Brandon Gillespie's relatives, but I haven't sorted them out yet. Great-great-grandmother. Her mother was Sarah Jane Reynolds. That would be your great-great-great-grandmother. Her mother was Alright, this is Salisbury Airport, where I learned to fly, sort of, where I soloed. Ray says I went down the runway to the right circle and came back twice. I don't remember anything about that, but I did solo here, and then I came back another time, flew about 30 minutes, landed, and never got an airplane again, except a commercial jet. Well, maybe one of Ray. Alright, we're at the old Bear Creek Bethel Church Cemetery near Mount Pleasant, North Carolina. And the two graves, the one on the right is Henry Shue, who was born on, let's see, when was he born? On June 12, 1770, and died May 22nd, 1860. And beside his grave, there's the grave of his wife, Catherine Herge, or something, H-E-R-G-E, Shue, who was born, when was she born? I don't know when she was born, actually. But they are, I think, the grandparents of the John Henry Shue, Jr., who was killed in the Confederate Army. They couldn't be his parents because his father made a will after he was killed, and this guy died in 1860. So this is evidently the one who is known as Henry the German, He must have been an immigrant from Germany. I don't know where his wife was born. Family graves in the cemetery in China Grove, North Carolina, on the road between Kannapolis and Salisbury. And the grave to the right is his father, Noah Stephen Anderson, who was born in 1888 and died in 1967. In the middle is Ray's mother, Della Gertrude Butler, and she was born in 1886 and died, 1937, is that it? I can't see the date.
1937.
And the final grave in this row is Ray's baby brother, Roy, who was born February 10th, 1915 and died June 27th of that same year, 3 years older than Ray. On the right, the grave of Elizabeth Anderson Watson, Ray's sister, who was born in 1907 and died 1977, and next to her, her husband, H.L. Watson, born 1907 and died 1985, I believe. Behind the Watson marker, in front of the Anderson marker, James Anderson's buried, born 1912, died 1977, Ray's brother.